Satan here orchestrates a persecution of the church. And what I love about the early church is the early church doesn't fight back. They just leave. When this week we couldn't avoid hearing information about Hurricane Earl, right? And, I'll tell you, the media today, they just love these hurricanes. And that's all you hear about, right? But when it looked like the hurricane was tracking to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and it was strengthening to a Category 3, what did the people who lived in the Outer Banks of North Carolina do? They left. Okay? And why did people evacuate the Outer Banks? Because you cannot fight a hurricane. You can't stand out there on the shore and put your fist into the air and say, go away. Or you can't say boo to a hurricane and have it go, oh, I'll just stay out in the ocean. It doesn't care. And it's much more powerful than you are. They have to evacuate. And in the same way, because it's not your ocean and it's not their weather system, they have to respond. Well, in the same way, this is not our world. Okay? This is Satan's world. And Satan has all kinds of power and ability and permission and freedom to persecute people. Okay? And to cause all kinds of damage and destruction. And he can be very hateful. And it's not our purpose, it's not our position to try to gain control of the world so that we can remove Satan from power. That's not going to happen. That's God's decision. It's his purview to do that or not. So listen, if I'm being persecuted, our first order of business is to remain alive. Okay? That's it. And to be shrewd. And so if Satan is persecuting and the people are persecuting us, you don't dig in and fight harder. You shake the dust off your sandals and you move on. Or the dust off of your wingtip shoes. Which, I don't wear sandals. But you get the idea. The Bible charges us to make the most of every opportunity, right? The Bible does not charge us to make the most of every situation. Do you catch that? The Bible charges us to make the most of every opportunity. Not every situation is an opportunity. You need to see which is which. If I was charged to make the most of every situation, I'd beat my head against a wall for the rest of my life. But that's not the purpose. Okay? You have to identify what is an opportunity. And Jerusalem was no longer an opportunity for the church. Okay? It was a situation. The opportunity was going to be in Samaria, and in Asia, and in Eastern Europe, and in Rome. Okay? That's where the opportunities were, and that's where they went to go make the most of them. The purpose is to be humble, okay, and to be usable, and to be a pilgrim. That's the point there. So that's the first contrast. The second contrast I want you to see is that Satan is clever, but we are simple. Satan is clever, and we're simple. Look at verse 5. And Philip went down to the city of Samaria and began proclaiming Christ to them. Now remember, you've probably heard pastors say this your whole life, but I'll remind you. Samaria was the part of the country that was very segregated, and the people of Samaria, the Samaritans, were people who were neither Gentile nor Jew, but both. Okay? They were a mix, and so they were hated by both. And so they were kind of a miserable people, and they were hated. They were a very, very hated minority. But Philip goes to Samaria, and what does he do there? He simply proclaims Christ. Now, why does Satan have to be clever? And by the way, Satan is always clever. He is silver-tongued. He's very deceiving, deceitful. He's a spinmeister. Why does Satan have to be clever? He has to be clever because he's wrong. Okay, that's why he's always so clever. Why did O.J. Simpson have to hire 5 silver-tongued attorneys to defend him? Because he did not have confidence in the truth. That's why. If O.J. Simpson had confidence in the simple telling of the truth, of the facts of the case, he could have hired one attorney. But he hired a bunch of them, and he hired the very best of them, because he needed somebody who would be clever on his behalf. Because he knew the facts did not redound well to him. Okay? So he had to be clever. In the same way, Satan does not have confidence in a simple telling of the truth. Okay? He has to be clever then. And that's what he is all the time. Satan is a liar, and the truth is not in him. He must think about it. What does he have to overcome to get his way? He has to overcome conscience. He has to overcome experience. He has to overcome the natural order of things. He even has to overcome common sense. And you cannot overcome conscience and common sense and the natural order and experience and all these other things that we know unless you're being clever all the time. But we, on the other hand, we're in the position where we have the confidence of the truth. The truth is on our side. Conscience is on our side. The natural order is on our side. Experience is on our side. Common sense most of the time is on our side. So if all those things are on our side, most importantly the truth, what should we be then? We should be simple. Right? We should be simple. We should not be clever. Because clever confuses the matter. When Philip went to Samaria, what's it say he did? He proclaimed Christ. Period. They could take it or leave it. But he wasn't going to embellish it. He wasn't going to be persuasive. You know, I don't know if Billy Graham is a world-class thinker or not. I really don't. I don't even know if I could judge what a world-class thinker is or not. And I don't know if Billy Graham is a world-class thinker. I don't know if Billy Graham could match wits with the greatest philosophers of history in our own day. I really don't. But you know what? Who cares? Right? Does it matter what kind of a world-class thinker Billy Graham is? No. Why is Billy Graham Billy Graham? Because he is simple. You watch a sermon of Billy Graham's, okay, which we've all seen them. Does he stand up there and try to use all these philosophical, obtuse, weird arguments like I sometimes use here and behind this pulpit? Does he do all that? No, he is simple. Why? Because he has the confidence of the truth that he's proclaiming. He proclaims Christ. You know, a gilded lily is no more attractive than a regular lily. In fact, it's less attractive. And we have that beautiful lily in the truth. We shouldn't coat it with gold and put sprinkles on it and sparkles and all those kinds of things. It's beautiful the way it is. And some people will take that lily and make it their own. And some of them will reject it. But we need to be simple. People who are clever don't have confidence in the truth. Next, Satan is a propagandist, but we are philanthropists. Look at verse 6. And the multitudes with one accord were giving attention to what was said by Philip, as they heard and saw the signs which he